Hello everybody, welcome back. We are on our main characters today. I want to do some mining before that complete overhaul with the AI came through. I also wanted to kind of show you like what I do with when I am in a mining mood and I want to complete the Concord pass. It's a good thing that I already have my planets all lined up, ready to go. Because this is the best way for me to do this very quickly. Let's go ahead and look at our Concord pass real quick. So you can see I've done like nothing for this Concord pass. Hey, cool, good to see you. Um, and I did not plan on doing anything for this Concord pass initially, and then that mining update came out. I went, oh, I don't have enough gold tesseract cores, so I'm gonna have to do some of this in the hopes that I can get some AI cores going in the near future when that update actually releases, which I think will probably be this week considering they did not put it up last week. So I've chosen the 9,000 cubic meters of ore, 24,000 cubic meters of ore, and 54,000 cubic meters of ore, and then I've gone with the 600, 1,200, and 2,000 cubic meters of planetary material on all three of my characters. So what that will allow me to do is now, since I have these planets just sitting around, I just go ahead and we're going to hit launch on all of these. I actually do not care about any of these materials right now. And you can just see the Concord points flowing in from all of that mining that's been done. So let's go ahead and look at our Concord pass now. And just from that, we got about 185 points, which not bad for doing absolutely nothing. Not bad at all. I will go and probably grab that stuff today just so I can have some more fuel sit in my hangar, but otherwise that's all it's gonna do. So that's just a really simple way for me to complete Concord Pass every week. And now that I've done that, I am going to change this over to, not that one. I'm going to change these over to the time-related ones. Oh, I just missed it. So being online. Being online. And being online. So now that I've done that, as I am mining everything, we will be able to get points just for passively being online. Yeah, the reverse engineering stuff is really good for completing that as well. I don't know too much about it on my end, but this is what I do personally. I'm also kind of setting up for uh, a thing I want to do in April today. Um, so we'll see how it goes and if I can continue doing what I used to do in the past. But it's going to take me a lot of material and reworking of my planetary. Come on, just give me the time-related one, please. There we go. While we're here, I can show you that I did go ahead and get the neon gas core for the Coveters, in the event that I get the chance to actually do the AI on it. You can see the option's not there quite yet because they did not implement that update. But unfortunately, my Rorqual, I have no option. I am stuck with the blue and white core. Um, wow, that's an interesting choice for the Anaconda. Um, 45 billion plus a cyan. I mean, that's is it already? You said it was rigged and fitted, right? Yeah. I, that's not a bad price for that. I think that's a reasonable trade right there. You'll get a much better ship for actually below normal market value. Also going to go ahead and do... Wait, oh, that's star meat. I don't want star meat. I want neon gas. I'm gonna go ahead and look at what upgrades we can do here. I want mining laser amount here. Yeah, I do have red mod. Not mining laser amount, I don't want that. I want strip miner mining amount. Oh well, I guess I just don't have any things to do for that. I'm gonna go to my implants real quick, make sure I swap them to... Oh god, I wouldn't even know, like, the full amount. Um, it At this point, it's a pretty decent amount. Between Omega Duo and... Oh, nice. Yeah, between Omega Duo and uh about $200 for each of the more recent ships. It's quite a bit. So let's see here. Let's see if I can do the math. So I have 3 marshals at $200 apiece. So that's $600 there. And I have 3 Phoenix bodyguards at $230 apiece. That is another $660, so that's already like $1,200 right there. And then this character, this character, I've got the Long U prototype, and so that's another $700 at minimum. But everything else was grinded. Thank God. So we're probably looking at somewhere around like $2,000 to get some of these really high-end ships plus the Long U on one character. Alright, so we are gonna go to... Where do you want us to go? You want us to go to foreign, or do you want us to go to perimeter? Do we want to have like a meme and mining a bunch of pyrite? Not pyrite, Veldspar and Scornite, or do we want to go and mine like a variety of stuff today? I mean, I've already got... Let's see what I'm sitting on currently for my minerals. Okay, I'm sitting on... Sitting on about 305 million-ish worth of minerals already. Yeah, let's just go do some variety, see if I can really pump this up. Let's go to perimeter. No, not perimeter. Foreign. Foreign has variety, perimeter has quantity.
Autopilot engaged. Undocking.
Okay, I do have mining implant on that character and this character. And on our Rorqual, we're going to do the micro-warp drive jump trick. Just get us there a little bit faster. So now we're up to speed, we're just waiting on the align time.
Diff.
Come on, Rorqual. You can warp, I know you can.
Warp drive active.
There we go. Jeez. Took a little bit longer than normal.
Warp drive active.
Thank you, Rorqual. It's also one of the reasons why I like the Orca so much more than the Rorqual, is its capability to get to warp just that little bit faster, and get aligned that little bit faster as well. So today we're going to be doing some jet can mining. That is a
Warp drive
EVE Online term, and I'll walk you through it when we're actually there.
Warp drive active.
If I have the patience, we'll be doing this from 6:30 my time all the way to about 10:30 my time. So it's gonna be a longer stream. Um, and the reason I'm doing it this way
Warp drive active.
is I want to compare
Destination drive active.
how much I get from this versus when the AI comes out. I want to see what kind of income they get based on that. Because if I only have to worry about my one Rorqual, and these two ships are just bouncing around between anomalies and stuff, or asteroids, I think that'll be best to compare it. I wish I could show you guys like the AI for the Rorqual, but I have no way of getting my hands on a illusory ghost nanocore or a neon gas nanocore for the Rorqual.
Warp drive active.
So let's see what kind of range we have here on our mining lasers. 35 kilometers is good. We want to have somewhere closer to like 37 really, but there are very few rocks that are going to spawn farther than 37 kilometers. If you're out in nullsec and lowsec, you definitely do not want to sit on the spawn point. You want to be actively moving around, or in a area that
Destination
would
reached.
allow you to cloak up if someone was to warp in. But in high sec, if you warp into the mining belt, you want to be able to reach the entirety of the mining belt without having to move. You don't really have that option with the Venture series of ships, but the strip miners and the Orca and the Rorqual do have that option. If we get the Porpoise, that would be a much better high-sec ship than the Orca for this kind of environment. we're also going to be buffing our ships. So now they're going to have 39 kilometers optimal range with 216 cubic meters of mining amount. So very nice. The Rorqual is a very, very pretty ship. Wish there was a little bit better angle here. Okay, we're at 11 rocks. So we're going to start turning off our seal mod because by the time it fully rotates, we will run out of rocks. Or it'll be really close, one way or the other. We are kind of just like cleaning up from other people mining in system until we get our
The asteroid belt has been mined
our
out.
fresh spawns.
Fleet warp.
Warp drive active.
So the Rorqual is one of the few ships in the game that is capable of warping without being aligned. It's a nice benefit of the ship.
Warp drive active.
And you'll see me perform that multiple times. Ooh, nice. Well, I hope you get the bodyguard that you're wanting pretty soon. Oh, hey, there's just a random orca in system. Nice. I'm gonna ruin his day real quick. He's probably gonna be terrified that 3 ships just spawned in on him. Yeah, he's already gone. Everybody's so afraid when a giant Rorqual shows up in high sec. I just want to be friends. Yeah, I think the seal mod has one of the best audio sounds in the game. It definitely makes you feel good.
Asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Okay. Finished up that mining belt. We're gonna move on to the next one here.
Warp drive active.
There we go, warping sideways again.
Warp drive active.
Ah, yeah, the Nagapur bodyguard is a pretty good one. You see, we're just kind of tearing through our Concord pass right now. If I was flying 2 orcas and a Rorqual, I would have 1 Rorqual in foreign. I would have 1 orca in Mbeki and 1 orca in perimeter. Um, that is the best balance of clearing out mining areas and being able to get a variety of minerals, especially some of the heavier minerals that you would require for building things. Cleared out that one.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Very nice.
Warp drive active.
I really wish they would just stop spawning a lot of asteroid groups and just spawn like 2 or 3 really big ones like they have in Nullsec. Hey, Asen, good to see ya. Oh, I'm gonna scare this guy again. I'm gonna turn on local. Oh, man, look at you all. That's so nice seeing you guys. Poor Orca, he has no idea that I'm just gonna tear through this thing. Hopefully in a moment here we'll have another asteroid group spawn. Otherwise we might choose to move over to Mbeki. Just so we're not bothering this Orca. Yeah, we can either go to Mbeki or Dier if we're finding that we're not getting enough asteroid groups spawning. Want to make sure we finish up this group real quick.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Yep, we're mining for Concord, and we're mining for something that I want to do in April.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yep. Yep, yep. Oh, thank you for the follow, Concord. Thank you so much. Man, I still need to get my notifications set up. They're just so confusing, so I need to actually look at like a tutorial for that. That orca is still in that other asteroid group, so it won't disappear until he moves. We will be actively destroying a portion of the market in April. For at least one day. Nice. It's something that I used to do a long time ago, and if you've been following Eve Echoes since, oh goodness, since the Orca came out, you'll notice that there's one very specific ship that will actively dump about 300 at a time into the system. And it completely ruins the economy of that ship for new players. It helps new players, it completely ruins it for players that are trying to abuse it. Let me say that. Okay. I think what we're going to do, because I'm not seeing another asteroid group gonna spawn in anytime soon, we're gonna go ahead and go to... Let's go to Mbeki. I feel like it.
Fleet jump.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
We need to make sure we do not go into point 4, because that is low sec. We want to stay in point 5. Okay, so there should be nobody here. Go ahead and take care of this. I believe I did the calculations a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it in my notebook here.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
That was when I built the Scorpion. Do I still have that page? No, I don't. I don't have that page anymore. But I should be able to make 1,000 and like 52 of a certain ship based on the full ore hold for the Rorqual. Make sure I turn my mining implant back on. Okay, our two coveters are somewhere about 70% of their ore hold. Pretty soon we'll be doing a jet can. Hey, Coveter, how you doing tonight? Good to see ya. Tell me about yourself. What you doing in game? Are you playing Eve Echoes and just stopping by to see what's going on? Okay. We have 7 rocks left, so we're gonna turn off the red mod. Yep, and now we have 3 rocks.
Fleet approach.
Yeah, I actually do have, like, a Discord server, but it's not fully
Warp
set up
drive
yet,
active.
and I certainly do not want to pay for, like, Nitro or anything
Warp
like
drive
that.
active.
Um, so perhaps I'll bring that to the stream, maybe not this month, but in the near future. I have set up a couple of links on my YouTube that are an email link, a link to X as well. So if you guys want to use those, you can. And then I'll have to somehow set up, like, uh, commands, so that way people can use that to actively tell others about it. Ah, no, it's all good. It'll just take me some time, and that's fine. I'd like to have it, in a way that I would do it. Because I do play more than just one game, on stream. There are certain things that I feel are necessary. See, this was a really good, uh, asteroid belt cluster, whatever you want to call it. We had like 16 or 18 rocks that spawned in this one, so we're going to be here for a couple of activations at least. So for each activation of this, we're going to be using 947 gigajoules of fuel, and each activation of this, we will also be using 947 gigajoules. So yeah, it is very expensive to run a Rorqual, and you can run out of this amount of fuel. I believe one ore hold goes through about 3/4 of this fuel, if it is just mining by itself and supporting others. In this case, we're not mining by ourselves, and we are actually going to feed into the Rorqual. So we'll do that now.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
And you can save a little bit of fuel just by actively turning on and off these modules preemptively,
Warp drive active.
so you're not wasting that extra charge.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Okay, so this is how you do jet can mining. You'll go to the ore hold of your coveters, you will jettison everything that you've got. I would not recommend doing this if you have other people in the area and they get confused about what you're doing. And then you can come over here to your ship that you're jet canning to, and you can just collect all of the ore. It'd be nice if the auto salvager would collect these, but I understand why it doesn't. Alright, and we managed to grab it all just before our activation, so it all got compressed right away. And this is how you stay out mining for long periods of time as a solo player. You can either go with one ship with a really large ore hold, or you can feed a bunch of small ships into that big ship. I'm gonna make sure I
The
turn off
asteroid
these.
belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
And that is what is referred to lovingly in EVE Online as jet can mining.
Warp drive
Very
active.
old tactic. It's something they still use to this day. Although
Warp
more
drive
often than
active.
not, if you're in a fleet with someone who's reliable, um, players will just actively use an Orca or a Rorqual for compressing within their own ore holds, using the Orca's or the Rorqual's external features. We don't have that feature in EVE Echoes right now. Unfortunately, we really should. Are you guys gearing up to do Dormant Realms tomorrow? Are y'all prepared? Have they fixed the combat music for the Rorqual? No, they haven't. For whatever reason, when you launch mining drones, you still get combat music.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Yeah, we'll be starting the Dormant Realm stuff,
Warp drive active.
at 6 o'clock. I think I've managed to set up the Twitch schedule for, a stream time every Monday now for that. And I'm not sure if 6 o'clock or 6:30 is a better option for you guys. In the afternoon for me, I don't know what time it would be for you. So each of these Exhumer heavy drones is mining 1,476 cubic meters, with an activation time of 9.91 seconds. So every 9.9 seconds, we're mining 1,476 cubic meters on each drone.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I guess I really need to put, I need to put some stuff on these ships. Particularly, I'd like to put inertia stabilizers on the Coveters, just so they can move around that little bit faster. And I think it'll help once we have the AI. I am really curious to know if, when we get that mining AI, if it will actually activate the seal mod. Like I said, I have no way of showing that off, unfortunately, until they bring the AI to the blue and white nanocore. But I'll be able to show it off with the two Coveters. We've got our weekly reset here. Our daily reset, I should say, not our weekly reset. By the way, if anybody is in the area, feel free to stop by and join in the mining. We'll be out here for the next 3 more hours. 3.5. Send a message in game when you find us, and I'll invite you to the fleet, and we'll just go belt to belt to belt. Nice, this was a fairly large group, had plenty of rocks, and seems like there's a lot of volume on those rocks. Let's see, we're at 20 million ISK already. We've been going for about 30 minutes. And on these two, we've got another 1.5 million each. Running a Rorqual in high sec is not the most value efficient thing you can do, but it is fun. It's nice to relax with a ship that you don't have to care too much about. I am so glad they allowed it to be in high sec. I was almost certain that they would revoke its access at some point. Uh, and if they were going to do that, I was just going to sell the Rorqual. I don't get all too much use out of it anymore, unless I have a goal that I am working on. And even still, the Orca would be a better option to complete those goals for high sec. So the Rorqual that I run has a ore hold capacity of 625,000 cubic meters. It does have a 10,000 cubic meter fuel tank, and the actual cargo hold is 62,500 cubic meters. So there is a lot of mining you can do. We're gonna get one more activation in on this before I have to shut it down. We might even get one additional after this. There is definitely a visual bug when you shut down the seal mod and then reactivate it. It'll just reset the position of the ship to do the transformation animation again. Goodness, this has had a lot more ore than usual. We'll go for another one. I feel like the activation time on this thing has gotten faster over the years.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, so recently there's been a few comments made along the lines of um, people just don't really have the time to watch like the full length of my streams, and I am very well aware of that. I myself don't have a lot of time to edit and put that kind of content in an edited form. So my intention with my content was that you would watch maybe like the first 30 minutes is the most information about what's going on, and the last like 15 or 20 minutes would have the conclusion of everything that happened during that stream, my general thanks to those that stayed around and watched. But don't feel like you have to watch it all in one go. I absolutely understand that people like to watch a little bit, go do whatever they're doing, watch another little section, um, and that's the way that I usually enjoy content. I feel like sometimes edited content can be very misleading in the amount of time that things take to accomplish. Um, and other times it's necessary to cut out anything that was unnecessary. And that's why long form content is my go-to form of content, because I like to see exactly how long something takes. Um, Even if it includes some of that unnecessary stuff, it can be entertaining during that time period, or I might learn something from it.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet war.
Yeah, we're going to be doing another jet can mining here in a moment, once we get to the new
Warp drive
the
active.
new belt group, whatever you want to call it.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Game? What you doing? Why you froze up? Let me reload that. There we go.
The cargo hold is full. The cargo hold is full.
Hopefully it'll warp me back in just a moment here.
Warp drive active.
There we go.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my jettison here. It is definitely tedious. I wish we had a better system for that.
Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
So at this point, we are sitting on 31 million. And once it compresses, it'll be somewhere around the same value. Okay, we went from 37% ore hold down to 18% after the compression. That gives us 31 million in ISK value for all of this. And we've only been going for a little under an hour. It's certainly nowhere near the value of mission running in like a quality built ship. But if you are a high-sec player and you're just looking to relax for a bit, maybe do some shipbuilding and stuff, this is definitely one of the best ways that you can relax in high-sec and just make some ISK. You can see when we're in a system that's not being abused by large mining ships, we can stay mining for a long time with each asteroid belt and group and cluster respawning as needed.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
There we go.
The asteroid belt has been
Oh,
mined out.
already mined this one out. I wasn't even paying attention. Wow, that felt really quick. I don't even think we got through like one activation.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
So what what can you actually build as a high-sec player by yourself without external needs, meaning you don't have to buy anything off the market, you don't have to go out to low-sec. You can build anything up to, I believe it's Tech 3 or Tech 4. Let's check the industry real quick. Oh, I still gotta deliver all of those because I haven't sold those from last week. So yeah, it looks like yep, you can do all of those materials in high sec by yourself, and you can mine all of this by yourself. Because we are getting Perlite and Plagioclase. So yeah, anything up to Tech 4 is a ship that you can build in high sec. So in particular, you want to target a ship that is highly sought after, either by new players or corporations and alliances. Something that's fairly cheap to make, which most of the tier 4 ships are very cheap to make. And then you also want to target a ship that
Warp drive
leads
active.
down a popular
Warp drive active.
ship type. So, for example,
Warp drive active.
um, if you're looking at building a frigate, your probably your two most popular frigates are going to be either a Venture or some kind of like Condor or Executioner, because those are going to be your highest bought items by new players. Very few new players are going to be buying something like the Galente frigate, the Tristan, unless they previously knew what it was capable of. It's more likely for a ship that either looks cool or that they've learned has good capability, such as the Condor, is going to be bought out way more than something like a Tristan, where it's known to be capable, but not in the same manner as something like a Condor or an Executioner. So that's the kind of thought process on finding a ship that you want to search out. The other thing you're going to want to be looking at is you have to look at the market for the amount of profit you can make on something like uh, a Condor. See, right now Condors are going for about $1 million, and in order to build one, I wonder if it'll even let me pull this list up here. It's going to cost you about 7,000 to 10,000, 16,000 for the blueprint, and then all of these materials. If you were to add up the value of all of those materials, that is the price that you should be looking at for profit, not the absolute minimum price. You should not consider materials free if you've mined them yourself.
Warp drive active.
Materials still have a value in game, and
Warp
so
drive active.
whatever you build and sell should be worth more than the material cost to you, plus any extra fees that it was to build. If you're
Warp
someone
drive
like
active.
me and you spend a lot of your time not caring that your materials are actually worth anything, which is a really horrible mindset to be in. Um, you can really lower your cost to like an absolute bare minimum. So right now, if I wanted to build that Condor, it's going to cost me 200,000 per ship, plus the blueprint cost, which ranges pretty heavily. But if you were to buy up all of these, let's just average it out at like 9,900. So it'll cost you like 210,000 in order to build that Condor if you ignore the cost of all of these materials. The cost of all of these materials is probably not much more than like another 600,000, which means you would be making somewhere around like a 200,000 to like a 400,000 ISK profit on each ship that you build. In my case, I used to build a very certain low tier ship that was an entry level ship that you had no choice. If you wanted to enter that realm of space, you had to buy that ship to get into it to have any sort of improvement over what you had. And that particular ship, my overhead cost, if I do not include the materials, was 98,000 ISK. So I was able to completely control the market value on that ship just by having the lowest overhead cost if I ignore my materials. If I don't ignore the materials, I think my total cost was somewhere in the 190 million or 190,000 ISK, and I would still be able to make a profit at that cost as well. I believe my cost profit at that point in time initially was somewhere about a 30% profit margin, um, because they were going for 270 something.
Warp drive active.
It fluctuated quite a bit with however many were on the
Warp
market.
drive active.
And then as competition to build that ship became more fierce, there was a period of time where that ship was only going for about 108,000. And if you remember, I would still be making profit on that if I don't consider the value of the materials. Remember, my base cost for that ship just to build that ship would be around 97, 98,000. So I'd still be making about 10,000 profit off of each ship. And then I would lose about half of that profit to the market tax. So I was able to outcompete a large majority of industrialists at the time. And I believe I can continue to do that if I felt the need. But we will see how the market's doing on that ship in the future. I noticed there's a lot less low-tier ships being built compared to what it used to be. So definitely industrialists in general have shifted to higher end, more desirable ships. So that market at that end is extraordinarily fierce, and you're making almost no profit on what you build. When you consider something like let's see here. Like the Orca. If you were to build an Orca right now, with maximum skills for building an Orca, mining all the materials yourself, attaining whatever materials from the market that you could, you can build an Orca for about 1.4 billion ISK. So you're only making 200 million on that. Which is only like a little over 12% increase in profit on that ship when it was going for I believe it was like 1.8 or 2.1. The margin was a lot better for profit. And so things are just getting less expensive overall. Uh, the longer that industrialists have to
Warp drive active.
kind of just gather a large amount of materials without having to do excess things.
Warp drive active.
The market in EVE Online can be very hard to determine whether a ship is worth building, especially when you don't have all the skills. Oh, somebody's full here.
The cargo hold is full.
I'm going to jettison all that real quick.
The cargo hold is full. The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Alright, let's go ahead and turn these off.
Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Now, I believe our
Warp drive active.
character up here has completed their Concord week. Yep, we've already completed the Concord week. Let's check the other two. Yep, that one's completed, and that one is completed. We're about 50 short, unfortunately. So we were able to complete a Concord week in an hour and a half. Yes, an hour and a half. Approximately, we started mining about 20 minutes late. But I'm going to count the planetary launch in that. So, an hour and a half and one Concord week is complete. Is that not just, like, insane to you? And not only did we do it with the Rorqual that quickly, the two Coveter 2s did it just as quickly. We've probably been done for about 15 minutes, maybe? Because I haven't seen the Concord points show up in a while. Very nice.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
I absolutely love this background music. It is easily one of the most iconic Eve noises. Um, and it's just so nice to listen to compared to
Warp
like the
drive
combat music, which is very frantic
Warp
for
drive
a reason.
active. Warp drive active.
So there are really only two paths that an industrialist can take. You can either be a resource industrialist, or you can be a shipbuilder, item builder kind of industrialist. A goods industrialist, I guess I want to say. Um, the resource industrialist is going to be less overhead cost and less income, but you can constantly be making that income. A resource industrialist is someone that's going to go out to these mining belts, mine whatever's there, and then sell that raw material or the reprocessed material, if you have the skills for it, out to like an external person on the market or in your corporation as a corporation buyback program, and that's how you're going to make your money.
The asteroid belt
A
has been marked
goods industrialist is someone who's going to take those materials that they've either mined themselves or purchased off the market or purchased from somebody else, and they're going to turn that into a ship or an item. And that is how they're going to get their materials. The overhead cost on the goods industrialist is going to be significantly higher, but it also has the opportunity, not the guarantee, to make a larger amount of profit.
fleet warp.
I think as a player, if you are a solo player or a
Active.
low-end multi-boxer, kind of similar to me, where
Warp
you're
drive
just running a
active.
few accounts, um, you're better off to be a resource industrialist than you are to be somebody who is building items. Now, that being said, if you can make a contract with somebody where you provide them with whatever goods and resources it is that they want, and they're willing to pay sort of a premium price because of either your location or services that you provide, you might be better off building those goods if you can guarantee that those goods will always be sold to an individual who can buy them. There are many times where these high-end goods industrialists, they're the people that are selling uh, like rattlesnakes and Navy issue battleships or capital ships. Um, Many of those people will sit on those assets and those goods for weeks at a time before they finally sell something. And so you have to be willing to look at whether or not the goods and services you're selling are worth the wait to actually sell them. In the case of a capital ship, yes, it is worth the wait, because while you're waiting to sell a capital ship, you can be building another one in the background for your next sale. And if you're capable of building one before you can sell the next one, or just as you're selling the next one, or maybe like a couple days after you're selling that first one you made, you're going to get in this scenario where you're starting to have a backlog of product, which can be made available at any given time, and you can set aside some of those assets for when they become much higher cost due to overall demand on the market. And those kind of scenarios where demand spikes through the roof are what you're hoping for as an industrialist.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
And those demand scenarios are right now every single week. Anytime we get sort of a ship balance patch or a new ship being launched to the game, that is your opportunity just before that patch launches, and after that patch launches in the first 10 hours, you're gonna see the cost of these ships and goods spike through the roof in the prior few, right as the patch notes come out, all the way until 10 hours after the patch has actually launched. Maybe in the first 24 hours, you'll find that the price steadily increases, but it's unlikely to last that long. I would say on average, the price of an item, if it's getting a adjustment to it, whether it's a buff or a nerf, also affects how much that ship is going to cost. If you get a buff, that ship will increase in price over the next 5 to 6 hours after a patch note comes out, and then it will peak about 5 hours after the patch launches, and then it'll start to climb back down. If it's a nerf, you're gonna want to be pulling your assets or trying to sell those assets before their price starts depleting. That way you don't lose too much ISK, or you just choose to hold on to those assets until some wild YouTube video comes out and the demand for it spikes the price real quick. If you are actively looking at the market, you're actively looking at patch notes, you are looking to see what YouTube videos have come out recently about a ship, um, you'll get a much better understanding of how the market works for EVE Echoes and EVE Online. Yeah, he's still waiting on his Anaconda as far as I know. Um, hopefully he'll have it by tomorrow.
Fleet.
I'm not sure if he's waiting for the contract to fulfill or waiting for the guy to get back online. Not really sure.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
But he's been AFK for a bit.
Warp drive active.
Man, I am really excited for the AI mining. I can't wait. I really hope my explanations of the market and how to go about obtaining information on what to expect from the market has helped a few people. Because sometimes it's just not obvious why something is so expensive versus maybe something very equivalent. And like some of the reasons why things go up in price when they've been the same price for God knows how long. Something I'm waiting to see if they'll do is give corporations an actual like market system rather than this weird system that we've got right now, which requires you to put up like equivalently buy orders and sell orders, but they don't function like that at all, and you have to put like time periods on it, and I would really like them to just simplify the corporation and alliance market system to what we have in like Gina. If it if corporations and alliances in their Fortizars could operate similarly to an interstellar trade system or a center, and simplify the UI to what it looks like in Gina, I think you would find a lot more success for corporations and alliances. That is one of the biggest reasons why I don't enjoy being in nullsec, is not having access
Warp
to
drive
a
active.
robust and reasonable
Warp
market
drive active.
system.
Warp drive active.
It really should just work as you click the item you want to say sell on market, and you put in a price and call it a day. Not all those extra create a corporation contract thing, and God, it's awful. So what you've been working on, Jenner? You've been running missions and stuff? Nice. I don't know if Concord is still here or if he wants to respond, but um, I'll ask him the same question. Whatever he's doing, I'd like to know that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of assets to try to build. Yeah, they're very expensive. See, now we're up to 56 million after about 2 hours.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Oh, nice. How'd it go? Did it seem to do alright?
Warp drive active.
Oof, yeah, that's rough.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, you'd almost be better off.
Warp drive active.
Generally, you'd almost be better off just doing, uh, the AI core upgrade and doing that first activation and then calling it a day. Yeah, streaming can be so awesome. It's gonna be a long journey, uh, but if you're good at networking, you'll grow quite quickly. Or if you can find that corner of the market, um, that you fit best, and you don't really see anybody else, um, fulfilling that role, you can definitely do well doing that. Are you gonna be doing streaming on Twitch, or are you gonna do it on YouTube? Nice. The one thing that I highly recommend for you is to upload your Twitch VODs or edited content to YouTube, because YouTube does a much better job at um, sort of networking and showing off a new person to people who have never seen the content before.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And I don't know if your corporation or alliance would allow you to, but if they do, um, sharing your stream to your corporation or alliance, like a link to that stream, would also help you with a lot of networking and get you pretty early on exposure. And then you'll have the basis of a large majority of people that could stop by at any time, as long as they know that you're doing it. I don't personally do that with my corporation or clan or alliance, um, mostly because I'm just dumb and I don't want to. I don't like spamming inboxes with a bunch of stuff going on. Um, that's just the way I look at it. So what do you normally fly, Coveter, dude? What ship? What do you do? Do you do PvP, PvE? Are you industry or trade?
The cargo hold is full. The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Nice. Yeah, that's always
Warp
nice to
drive
see.
active.
Yeah, I don't think there's any uh, industry-based YouTubers right now for Eve Echoes. I know a couple of them will do like buying out an entire market to help fix the market itself, but there's like no one actually doing industry.
The cargo hold is full. The cargo hold is full.
Yeah, honestly, you should stream what you enjoy the most. If that's industry, you'll get a following around that. You just have to show that you like what you do and keep doing it. This was a really good cluster. It had 18 rocks, and we've only gone through one so far. So nice. Alright, we're up to 67.4 million. 67.5 million. We've got 520,000 rich Feldspar. We have 480,000 rich Sportite. We have 150,000 rich Flakier Place. 51, almost 52,000 rich Omber. And 28,500 rich Kernite. We've been going for about 2 hours and 4 minutes. So, I like it. Very good.
Fleet.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
And we're only 39% of my ore hold in this Rorqual. So realistically, at 4 hours, we would be at closer to 80%. It'd probably be like 78% of my ore hold. Having another 18% of my ore hold will be a huge increase if I can get the AI nanocore on this thing eventually. And there's no point in going past this one because it's not really cost effective. We're probably going to tear through these last 9. Probably go one more.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
So right now we're at 252,000 cubic meters worth of material. That is only just a base Orca's ore hold without skills. I need to make sure I log into my alphas before I leave the stream today to finish off the week for the Concord pass. And then we'll probably no, to my alpha characters. What's the price of Flex now? Has it climbed back up to 8 million? Nah, it's still kinda low. That's good. We still made like a really good choice when we chose to buy our flex on the alpha characters. We got it for 7.5 million. That was perfect timing.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
So we'll probably get another Alpha to Omega stream on Tuesday or Wednesday. Not really sure which day. And that'll go over us buying all of the modules and things that we're gonna need for the prophecies. God, I'm so not used to having a prophecy in my hangar. It's been so long since I've flown battle cruisers in general. Good lord. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about, like, the difference between going from a cruiser to a battle cruiser. And the difference in, like, thought when you're at the same income level and how to, like, maximize that when you're ratting.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Yes, we are definitely doing Dormant Realm tomorrow. Monday, I should say. It'll start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what that's gonna be for you guys, but that seems to be a better time for most people.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, I'm still debating whether I want to start it at 6 or 6:30. But we'll see how it goes. If it seems like more people want a slightly later time, um, we can make it 6:30 or 7. It doesn't really matter to me when, but I can't go much later than 8. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Jenner. That makes me smile. I do have my Twitch now set up with at least Dormant Realm Mondays as a guaranteed stream time. And of course I can change what actual time we're gonna get started at, depending on what people feel will work best for them. Man, I am really halfway debating whether or not I keep those alphas as like a passive character that I can just feed money to and get to Tech 10 eventually. And just let them sit there and do their thing, complete their Concord passes as needed. Because it would be nice to be able to do a longer Dormant Realm carry stream. And all I would have to do is swap from these characters to my alphas, and we'd have another 10 runs that we could do like that. I would probably
The asteroid belt has been
feed my Raven Navy issues to them, and they would be able to do Dormant Realm 2 or 3, I don't remember which one it is. The one that Salvar Harden usually does.
fleet warp.
Or I might just keep them with
Warp drive active.
capital ships if they can afford a capital ship by the time they get there.
Warp drive active.
I know I'm really close to having access to the Lancer Dreadnoughts, but I have to wait for the old Dreadnought box to come back under the treasure box, the cosmic treasure box that we used to have. I'm like 20 boxes away from getting a Lancer Dreadnought if they bring them the old cosmic treasure boxes back. So if I can get my hands on those, we'll just move the Lancer Dreadnoughts over to the Alpha characters at Tech 10, and that'll just be a guaranteed carry session with Dreads. Alright, I'm gonna go muted real quick.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Okay, I'm back. I'm thinking if I decide to bring the Alpha characters to Tech 10, I would like to give them either a Bane or a Hubris.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive
I'm not
active.
really sure which one I would choose though. I think I prefer the stats and stuff of the Hubris, but I like the looks of the Bane a lot more. Man, it's so... God, when I started Eve Echoes, I did have big dreams of flying like the biggest ship I could afford. But never did I think I would have ever flown the Rorqual or a capital ship like my Phoenix bodyguards. I thought I'd be flying battleships and maybe the Orca if it ever came to name, which it eventually did. That's just wild. I look back on that so often. I don't even know if that is physically possible, Jenner. Not with our current equipment. But if we get, like, the fuel-based repair modules, oh yeah. I think we're gonna have a hell of a time when those come out. Which, thinking about those modules, I believe those modules came out when Marauders were released in EVE Online. I could be very wrong on that, but I don't remember seeing those modules available prior to Marauders being a thing.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I think pretty soon I want to do an EVE Online stream, which is going to be very different content from what I do normally in EVE Echoes.
The cargo hold is full. The cargo hold is full.
Uh, Nice. Alright, we're up to almost 87 million-ish. Gonna go ahead and turn that thing off. Yeah, I really hope you guys like what I do in April. It'll be a one-day event, but I think it'll be fun. I hope it'll be fun.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I think we're outpacing these asteroid spawns a little bit. There we go. Alright, we are now at 50%, which is 87, almost 88 million. So we can expect somewhere around 166, 165 million for a full ore hold.
The asteroid belt has been mined out.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
What? Did I not warp? What in the world? Odd. Come on, Rorqual. I know you can do it.
Warp drive active.
There we go. I don't know why you didn't warp the first time.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Alright, I'm gonna make myself some peanut butter and jelly, and a string cheese stick. I'll be back in a minute.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
The asteroid belt has been mined out. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Fleet.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Alright. We're probably coming up to the end of the stream here. I don't really have a whole lot to say after this. It's just me mining. If I had more to really talk about, maybe I'd go for another hour, but I really don't. Did you see that, that contract I looked at earlier? Where is it? That one there. If you're gonna end up getting an anaconda for the cost of a cyan plus 45 billion, um, that's a really good deal. I was saying I really don't have much to talk about right now, so yeah, I think Tua definitely got a good deal on that because he pretty much got it for what is that? 100 billion, 95 billion, 90 billion? I don't know, somewhere in there. 100 billion, I think. That's a pretty good deal. Especially if they're going for like 115 or so. But he said his was rigged and fitted from that guy, so way good deal. That's awesome. Yep, I'll probably wrap it up after this particular asteroid belt. As we're wrapping up the stream here, I want to say thank you all so much for coming and joining me. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight into what to expect from having a Rorqual in HiSec. It's certainly not the glamorous money maker that it would be in nullsec, but for about 3 hours worth of mining, we got 103 million worth of materials. I'm gonna have to jettison this stuff so I don't have to create a contract. And it's just a really easy way to make some ISK if you don't really want to do anything. Thank you all so much for joining me today. This is definitely different from what I normally do. It's not often I go mining, and so I just wanted to bring you guys along and show you what I do. It really means a lot to me if you would go and either leave a comment, leave a like, leave a follow on YouTube or Twitch. I cannot tell you how happy it makes me when you guys leave a comment and I'm at work. Um, it really makes my day. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on Dormant Realm Monday tomorrow. Take care and be safe.